Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to iReady Math Lesson 24, video number 2. Today, we are going to continue exploring telling and writing time. So go ahead and get your instruction book open to pages 220 and 221. And also, let's go ahead and get out your clock. We are going to be using this today to help us understand telling and writing time. All right, let's start by looking at page 220. It says, Evan started eating breakfast at the time shown on the clock. What time does the clock show? So the first way we can solve this is picture it. You can use the clock to find the hour and the minutes. So looking at the clock, it says that the hour hand is between the 7 and 8. Now, Smarties, on your clock, your short hand is the hour hand. Your long hand is the minute hand. All right. So when it is 7 o'clock, we start at the 12. When our minute hand is touching the 12, that is at 0 minutes. We are starting a new hour. But as the minutes pass, our hand is getting closer to 8 because that will be the next hour. So as the time is going by on the minutes, our hour hand is moving closer to the 8 because we are getting closer to the 8th hour. So if our hour hand is between two numbers, we want to go back to the smaller number. So if it is between 7 and 8, it is still the 7th hour. All right, and the minute hand is pointing at the 4. So if it's pointing at the 4, that doesn't mean that it's 4 o'clock. That means it is 7:20. What do we skip count to find 20 minutes? We skip count by 5. So we start at the 12. So that is 0, 5 more. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. So if my minute hand is pointing at a number, that would be 7:20. It says you can use a digital clock to show the time. The same time can be shown on a digital clock. It shows the hour first, then the minutes. A digital clock shows AM to mean during the morning, or PM means noon until nighttime. Okay, so if we see PM, that means we're getting closer to sleep time. If it's AM, we're waking up. it's during the day. PM is during the day until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And then PM is after 12 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight. All right, let's look at number 2. It says, what time did Evan start eating breakfast? So looking at our clock, what hour are we in? Remember, if it's between, we go back to that smaller number. So it is 7. And our minute hand is at the 4. We skip counted by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Evan started eating breakfast at 7:20. So that is the time he started eating breakfast. Number 3 says, this clock shows the time Evan finished breakfast. Tell how you know what hour it is. Okay, so Smarties, if you look really closely, all right. This is the time that Evan finished eating breakfast. I want you to look at the hour hand. Has the hour hand gone past the 8 yet? No. Is it touching the 8 yet? No. So what hour is it still? It is still 7. So tell how you know what the hour is. How do we know? What do we know about the hour clock? The hour hand. It hasn't gone past the 8. So we would say it is still 7 because The hour hand has not passed the 8. So, Smarties, we would say this is still 7. Now, number 4 says, how can you skip count to find the number of minutes on the clock when Evan finishes breakfast? What can we skip? So, we know that it is still 7. What can we skip count by to find out how many minutes is at the 10? What can we skip count by, Smarties? We can skip count by 2s, right? No? What did we skip count to find that at the 4 was 20 minutes? What did we skip count by? 5s. So let's start at the 12. Remember, if my minute hand is at the 12, it is 7 o'clock. We have started a new hour. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to skip count by 5s. Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ooh, now watch this. 35. Do you see that? Our hour hand is getting closer to the 8. Is it 8 o'clock yet, though? No, we're still in the 7th hour. Now watch what's going to happen to my minute hand. It's going to pass that hour hand. 40. 45. Whoops. 45. 5 more would be 50. 55, 60. When we are at 60 minutes, we are starting a new hour. So let's go back a little bit. How did we figure out how many minutes? So halfway was 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. What did we skip count by, Smarties? We counted by 5s 10 times. I could even hold up 10 fingers and skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So how do we skip count? We counted by 5s 10 times. So we can say we skip counted by 5s 10 times. All right, so looking at our clock, what time did Evan finish breakfast? Has our hour hand passed the 8 yet? No. So what hour are we still in, Smarties? 7. And what was the minutes when we skip counted by 5s 10 times? What is the minute? 50 minutes. We're getting closer to 8 o'clock. All right, number 6, it says the first clock shows when Mark went to bed. Write the same time on the digital clock, circle AM or PM. All right, so let's see. Our hour hand is between 8 and 9. Our shorthand is our hour hand. It's between 8 and 9. And our minute hand is at the 7. Ooh, remember, the minute hand is that longer hand. What are we going to skip count by to find how many minutes have gone by? We're going to skip count by 5s. But first, let's look at the hour hand. Our hour hand is between the 8 and the 9. What hour are we still in, Smarties? Remember, looking at the hour hand, if it's between 2 numbers, go back to the smaller number. So we are still in the 8th hour. So remember, on the clock, we start by showing the hour. And now we go to the minutes. We're going to start at the 12 and skip count by 5s. Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So Mark went to bed at 8:35. Now we're not done yet. When you go to bed, do you usually go to bed in the morning, or do you usually go to bed at night? You're usually going to bed at nighttime. Look back. It says AM means during the morning. PM means noon until midnight. Ooh, so did Mark go to bed at 8:35 a.m. or did he go to bed at 8:35 p.m.? Go ahead and circle which one is the correct option. He went to bed at 8:35 p.m. Remember, Smarties, the most important thing I want you to remember, if that hour hand is between two numbers, always go back to that smaller number. We're getting closer to 9 o'clock, but we are still in the 8th hour. And with our minute hands, if our minute hand is on a number, it's not 8-7, it's 8:35. We skip count by fives. All right, Smarties, that is it for today's lesson with telling and writing time. Remember to keep that growth mindset. Good learners do challenging things such as reading and telling time. And I will see you tomorrow with another video lesson. Happy learning, Smarties.